Good morning. This is Mrs. Benton. I just wanted to go through and show you how I posted the assignments for this week. You'll notice that on the Google Classroom stream that there is a post talking about the logistical changes. I'm going to go ahead and read that to you now. Um, This is the YouTube introduction that's going to be attached to the very top of your stream. So if you're listening to this, you've found it. Um, Today is a really busy day, and that it's our new checklist for the week. And I did a couple things differently per student request, and we'll see how it goes for you. Don't hesitate to let me know what's working and what's not, and I'll try to do more of what's working and less of what's not, or get rid of what's not working for you. This week I posted all of the week's assignments, all of our learning engagements at one time. Um, so the first 2 weeks I posted them in the morning, and then I had some people really like that, and overwhelmingly that's what was asked for at first. But then I had more students saying we would like to look at it all at once so that we can plan out our week and get an idea of what the week in English language arts looks like. And so we're trying that different thing this week. And the checklist and the classwork tab should help you in not getting overwhelmed with everything being available. But don't hesitate to let me know about that, whether you preferred that or whether you'd like me to go back to the other system. So when I posted all of this week's assignments, I turned off the email notifications in Google Classroom so that you wouldn't be overwhelmed with a ton of emails this morning. So, in order to find your assignments, you're going to have to use the Classworks tab. If you had been using email to find your assignments, that won't work this week because when I posted the assignments, I had the notifications off. So, to find your assignments, you can go to Classwork, and then you'll see that this week we're working on Seedfolks. So, right at the top, you have Seedfolks, and then there are the assignments. Um, this one was last week, No Place for a Garden. And then you'll notice that they are in chronological order with suggested due date. So remember that you can work on these in your own schedule, your own pace, whatever works the best for you and your family. And you can turn them all in ideally by the end of this school week on April 14th. Um, this being said, if you want some structure and some help with suggested due dates, they are here for you in the classwork tab. Also, to help you decide, um, like, when was this stuff assigned, if you're like feeling overwhelmed with what's happening in terms of your to do and done tabs, this has what week it was assigned. So this is the week of April 8th. And so each assignment has that week just in its assignment title to help you out. I'm going to go back to the stream here. Um, so the week that the assignment was assigned, I had already mentioned this, is in the title of each assignment in Google Classroom just to help you wrap your mind around once we post next week's assignment, you'll have the week title, the name of the week in the title, and that should help you out. Um, Number 5 and 6, I will post a help video for you on a different day so that I can show you how to do this. I just didn't have time to prepare that for this morning, but I will mention it to you just so you're aware that I'm aware of the situation. When you're using your to do or graded done tabs in Google Classroom, if you have omitted assignment, like not done an assignment and don't intend to, because I have that option for you if you're feeling overwhelmed with the amount um, of learning engagements or the amount of assignments posted, then you and your family can work together and then let me know what you're not going to do, and that's totally fine. If you haven't done an assignment and you don't intend to do it, I cannot return it to you and get it off your to-do tab unless you turn it into me. If you turn it into me, then I can return it back to you with a comment. This is omitted. No worries, no problem. That's one way to handle it. And the second way to handle it is just to simply leave it there. Um, and it'll just be hanging out on your to-do tab and just only worry about this week's assignment. They are now marked in the title. And you also have a due date that falls within the week. And so you can see it in um, that nicely captured list on the classwork tab. And you can just simply ignore the assignments that aren't in the current week that you haven't done on the to-do tab. Those are the two ways to deal with that. In terms of using email, I know that the emails can get overwhelming for sure. Um, so one thing that I did to help my son out as soon as we opened his email when this online school started, I was like, oh no, there were so many emails from like the start of the school year. So if you look at your inbox and you've got like thousands of emails, it's okay to just select all and delete. Start fresh. You may want to unselect what came in over the last 5 days and to take a look at, but otherwise, I think it's okay to get rid of the overwhelming backlog. Um, so once again, I'm working on a little help video um, to show you how to deal with numbers 5 and 6, but that won't be ready for you today. So I'm looking forward to seeing you in Zoom tomorrow, hopefully, and you can give me your 2 cents on how this new posting went for you. So I'm really looking forward to seeing you there. Now I'm going to pop over to classwork and talk a little bit about the weekly checklist. So you'll notice that all of our assignments here are under Seedfolks right at the top of your classwork tab in Google Classroom. The the checklists are underneath logistics because it's a logistical item, and you can also find it in your stream. So you can view the assignment and view your checklist. And I just wanted to go through this top part of the checklist with you. So you can see at the top that we have our theme or our quote to consider for the week, and it's from Seedfolks, the novel that we're going to be reading. The ancient Egyptians prescribed walking through a garden as a cure for the mad. And I thought that was just a nice quote because we're all kind of stir crazy, just um, staying inside and keeping our social distancing. And sometimes just stepping outside a little bit can just bring some peace and some centeredness, some balance to our technology usage also. So that's why I picked that quote for us, or that theme for us for this week. In terms of our targets, these um, these are the targets for this week. I can navigate online learning like a superstar, doing the best that I can with what I have, offering kindness and getting outside. Learning target 2. I can demonstrate my understanding of chapters 1 through 5 of Seedfolks, using both paraphrase and direct quotations from the text to defend my answers. It's actually chapters 1 through 7. Sorry, I had a little typo there. Um, so I'm looking for you to use evidence to defend your claims on these chapters of the text by the end of the week. We're going to be considering the question, how does the book Seedfolks connect to the idea of altruism? So here are the directions for using the checklist. You're going to start every day by just checking the top of the Google Classroom stream for any new announcements. So just to show you where that is, this is the Google Classroom stream. So it's right at the top. And then unless otherwise stated, all of our assignments this week are found on the Google Classroom under Classwork Seedfolks. So that's the second tab, and it's right at the top. You can find it right at the top here, and then you can also click on Seedfolks from all topics. The assignments are posted chronologically by suggested due date. Please work on these learning engagements in order on your own schedule, turning in each assignment on its posted due date as possible, ultimately turning in everything on this checklist by the end of the day on Tuesday, April 14th. So I just want to clarify um, and just make up this little note on adjusting the workload to suit you and your family's needs. You may work on an individualized plan. So if you need to omit something or not do an assignment in order to reduce stress and pressure, start with not doing the extend assignment. Those are now labeled on this checklist. Next, you would omit or not do the assignments marked as formative. Additional omissions are possible. Just get in touch with me and I can help you to create an amended checklist. Don't hesitate to talk to your families about what you're doing in ELA, and then I can meet with you, or I can meet with you and your family, and we can amend things going forward if you're feeling stressed or overwhelmed with what's happening in ELA. I really want to provide opportunity for learning and growth for all students. And so I want to make sure there's enough there for students who aren't overwhelmed to really have enough to delve into to grow as a reader and a writer. And at the same time, I don't want to overwhelm because there are many students who are in a situation where it's really hard to engage in the online learning, given the device and the internet, and maybe there's not always a quiet place to work or whatever's going on is making it very difficult to complete everything that's offered. And that is no problem at all. So please just engage in what you can. What you can do right now is enough. Just feel fine with what you can do. What you can do in your given situation is enough. I am happy with what you can do. Um, Make sure to challenge yourself, and also please feel okay with what you are able to do in these challenging circumstances we find ourselves in. I really appreciate all of your hard work and critical thinking as always. I appreciate what you have to say. So here's the checklist, and you'll notice that I just added just a weekly lesson guide over here, and that's going to help you. Um, that's just going to help you guide yourself through the weekly lessons. So we've got our warm up piece here, the suggested due date, and then the assignment. We've got a little mini lesson which has our Zoom information and our Zoom link for the week, which will happen weekly on Thursdays. And then we've got a grapple assignment, and darn, this week I posted it incorrectly. Um, I typically will have that be something that we can collaborate on. And this week I posted it so that we weren't able to collaborate. And I'm unsure if I'm going to be able to fix that this week or not. Um, but typically we'll grapple with something together on that particular assignment. Um, this balance piece, the first week we had I posted something for the weekend like do something deviceless. I posted a little sound of our meditation bell and suggested like playing a new game or getting doing something outside. Our second week um, we did something kind for somebody. And this week, I'm just suggesting that we get outside um, for bringing a little balance into our lives. The practice piece, you can see the suggested due date and then the assignments here. Um, and then we've got your wrap up, which is something that's going to be posted in Infinite Campus here. And then we've got the optional challenges, which this is an optional extension. So it's adding something extra onto for those students who want the extra challenge. The first 2 weeks, I had optional extensions built into assignments that students took advantage of. And this time I have it out on our checklist here. I did want to point out one other assignment where we're going to be working on a different platform, and that is the Get Outside assignment, um, which is right here. And I just wanted to show you that you will be posting um, just a little outside piece, an outside journal piece, and a little sketch on Padlet. And I just wanted to remind you to sign into Padlet using your Durango 9R um, Google account so that you have access to it. Um, and that assignment is right here in our stream. And so I just wanted to remind you of that. The very last thing, thank you so much for your attention. I know this is a lot of direct instruction. I just wanted to make sure we were kind of set up for the week. The very last thing I wanted to do is just quickly check in on the Seedfolks overview for us. So if you want to pause this video, stretch, go outside, take a deep breath of air, have a snack, drink some hot cocoa or something, and then come back, that is totally 100% fine. All right. If you took your little break, welcome back. Um, so we're moving into reading Seedfolks by Paul Fleshman. And I just want to go through the overview, which aligns with our expedition in altruism. It's nested underneath, and this is a case study where we're going to be engaging in reading this text. So the standards, I'm still taking a look at textual evidence to support the analysis of what the text says, both explicitly as well as inferences. Um, in terms of the long-term target, I'm looking for students to be able to identify altruism in texts and to apply the concepts to their everyday experience. So I'll be looking for you to be looking for connections of altruism, examples of altruism in the book Seedfolks, and then making connections between Seedfolks and your everyday experience. In terms of the supporting targets, I can define and discuss altruism using examples from Seedfolks and other texts read. I can identify the context of the text, like what's happening, where it's at, where it is happening. I can compare and contrast detailing the relationship between two texts. So sometimes I'll be asking you to use like a nonfiction piece and Seedfolks and do a little comparison. I can use appropriate strategies for organizing complex information. And so that's all that Google Classroom piece where we're working on just keeping organized and just dealing with that whole framework and this whole online thing. In terms of the assessments or these questions, these case study questions that we're going to be considering, the factual question that we'll be working out over time is who are seed folk? The conceptual question is how does the book Seedfolks connect to the idea of altruism? And the debatable question is can a community garden significantly contribute positively to planetary health? Can a community garden do good things for the environment and human health? Does it make a difference? And so those are the questions that we will be considering. Um, I will be posting um, just an online version of this book. It's attached to your assignment, and then I will get audio to you hopefully by tomorrow. So you have an option to listen to it and read the text. Once again, in terms of what I'm looking for, in terms of your thinking, I am looking for your fully independent piece where you're reasoning with evidence and self coaching. So you are reading your post and then deciding, did I have enough evidence to answer that question fully? Did I use an example from the text? The example can be just in your own words, a paraphrase, or it can be a direct quotation. So I'm asking you to be independent with reasoning with evidence by rereading and revising your post, just asking yourself, do I have a specific example from the text? Did I clearly describe it? Did I use a direct quotation to answer this particular question? And I just wanted to give a couple examples from the first three chapters in terms of connections between altruism and seed folks, just so that you have an idea of some examples just out the gates, since we're going to be talking about these connections moving forth. Um, the first connection I'd like to highlight is that Paul Fleischman writing a book about a garden transforming a neighborhood, that is providing a voice to those may not have had one, and so that in itself is altruistic. Um, in reading the back of the book, you can see that a young girl clears a space in a deserted, garbage-filled lot and plants a garden, which then she shares with the community. And that is an altruistic act that ties in or connects to the idea or the concept of altruism. And then in chapter 3, called Wendell, a character named Anna tries to save some seedlings that have been growing. There's some problems with the seedlings, and she's really doing her best to try to save them. And so she's trying to help the young girl who started the garden. Um, it is altruistic to inform and provide a voice to those who are oppressed, to others who may not have their point of view shared to a broader audience. That is all I wanted to share with you today. And thank you so much for your attention. That was a long piece of direct instruction. And I will be in touch throughout the week with just um, some posts on the stream as necessary when we have a tech issue, if there's a clarification I need to make. And then I, of course, will look forward to seeing you on Zoom. Have a good week and a good day.